Hi everyone, and welcome to Blackwood N Gauge Layout. It's been about 2 months since I last posted a video, but I have been busy in those intervening couple of months. Not so much on the layout itself. I have been dealing with storage issues within this train room I have here. So I'm going to try and make this as short a video as possible in terms of showing you what I've been doing, and then we'll have our usual running session just as that 9-car Pendolino disappears in front of us. So without further ado, I'll take you and I'll show you what I've been doing, and then we'll get back to the really interesting stuff, which is actually watching the trains running around the layout as the zoomer just comes into shot and disappears away to go back down the other helix. So without further ado, let's go and see what I've been doing. So the first bit of storage is underneath the helix, or one of the helixes. So you can see the helix there, and as we come down, you'll remember last year I built this drawer here, which slides out, and I always said I was going to build a second drawer. So that's one of the first things that I have actually done, is actually complete this second drawer, identical to the one above, slides out, and for the first time I've got all my scenic material all in one place. There is still a little bit of room just in the floor, so the last of my scenic material is just sitting in one of those really useful plastic boxes. So that's the first thing that I did, was obviously complete the storage there. The second thing that I did was storage for all the rolling stock. What you didn't see when you saw the videos was the amount of rolling stock that was literally lying about, either in sidings or on top of boxes, which really is not very good for it. None of it luckily ever got damaged, but it was not really the ideal solution. So I was looking around for some solutions, and I have got some storage space now for the rolling stock. So we'll go and quickly have a look at that. So I have invested in some bespoke stock drawers. These are made by White Rose Model Works, who are based in Yorkshire. This is the 5 drawer storage solution they have. I also purchased a plinth on the bottom so that the actual drawers don't sit on the floor, and I have in actual fact added some small casters so that I can move the actual drawers about very easily, which I will just give you a quick demonstration. So I've unlocked the actual locks on the casters, and as you see, with one hand I can wheel all my rolling stock out without any difficulty whatsoever, and it sits neatly underneath the lower baseboards, and then you simply click the locks on the casters and that makes it nice and safe. Now I have in actual fact ordered a second set of 5 drawers. There is a lead time of 5 to 7 weeks, so I ordered them a couple of weeks ago, so it'll be a good few weeks before they actually come. Now obviously inside the stock drawers, one thing I didn't want was the current solutions that are available in the UK are obviously these like really useful plastic containers, and you can buy foam inserts, which are basically foam trays, and you can sit all your stock in the foam tray. What I was looking for was something where when you open the drawer, everything's actually displayed. You're not just looking at roofs of locos or roofs of wagons or coaches. So I searched the internet and I thought, well, I wonder what our European friends do. So of course they use something totally different. They still use foam trays, but they use what they call zigzag foam trays, and I have ordered some, and the first lot came, and I was so impressed with these I actually ordered a second lot, and I'll just put them on the floor there. So these, as I say, are they're called zigzag foam trays, and they're basically like display shelves. You can cut them to size, and these are the right width for these drawers. They're just a wee bit too long, so it's just a case of taking a pair of scissors and trimming off about 3 or 4 rows of foam. So when I come up and I open the stock drawers, you'll probably see what I mean about displaying the trains. So as you can see, if I probably come back, everything's actually nice and safe, but everything is actually on its side, it's displayed. You can see immediately what you've actually got, which I think is a lot better than the foam trays that you get in the UK. So what I've done is I've started to sort of kind of categorise the stock. So top tray is kind of all the modern image stock. This tray here is your more traditional blue-grey, and third tray down we have what I call others, so it's intermediate eras, and you can see I've not actually got all that much intermediate era stock, and there is one small steam locomotive which I'll say a little bit about later on, and then again wagons all neatly kept and nice and safe. So going to get another set of 5 drawers which will just go on the other side. So those really useful boxes have got stock in them. That's the other thing about the really useful boxes. If you're using these for transporting stuff to exhibitions, they're absolutely fine. That's what you would want to use. But for something like a layout that's not really going to leave home, the larger boxes, they come. The really useful boxes usually come with layers of trays, and that's the other thing that kind of pained me, was you'd open the box, then you've got to carefully lift out a top tray full of locomotives or rolling stock to see what was underneath it, and then lift out maybe a second tray to see what was in the bottom of the box. With these shelving, or these drawers that I have, you don't have that. I will, obviously, once I've got everything sorted, I'll label the drawers so that if I'm wanting modern rolling stock, I'll be able to go to a drawer, pull it open, and I can see everything. I don't need to start moving stuff about. So that's obviously, as I say, that was obviously another sort of project that was happening in terms of storage facilities. And obviously it means that in this corner here is now absolutely clear. This corner here is absolutely stuffed full of boxes and tools and things, and as you can see now, it's clear, absolutely clear. So just staying down here underneath the layout, I'll just come round here. The other helix, which you just see there, again, I have not put a drawer in. I've actually put a shelf in underneath there, and that's really to store all my big heavy power tools. A drawer really wouldn't cut it. So we've got all my heavy power tools that I either use in here or I use about in the house. So they're all neatly stored. And I've also got, these are the stock boxes in terms of, these are actually the cartons for all the rolling stock that's actually sitting in the boxes that you see behind the back scene that's temporarily sitting on the floor. So again, that is tidied up. That area there was a complete and utter mess, so that's now nice, neat and tidy. And we'll go and have a look at the third thing or area that I've worked on, and we'll show you what I've done in that. Right, the third area is against this wall, and what I have done is I have put up shelf racking, adjustable shelf racking. You can see the white adjustable shelf metal brackets there, and what I've got is I've got everything right up to the ceiling. I'm using all the available storage space. So as you can see, all these really useful boxes that I've got, card kits and all the other bits and pieces that you tend to gather when you're building a model railway, they were all sitting piled on the floor, which meant they were in the way. Well, they're all now nicely out the way, so things that I probably don't use all that often are sort of up in that top shelf. And then we've got a bottom or a lower shelf, which has got a lot of drawers, compartments in it. And then I got some garage racking off of Amazon. And again, where the old workbench was, that has now got a very neat 4 shelf piece of racking. And what I've done is the inserts out of the really useful boxes where the foam trays that you would use to put stock into, rather than throw them out, I've actually glued them on here, a bit of safety, and underneath here, so that when I stand up I don't hit my head on a solid bit of pine board. And lastly, I now actually have got a proper workbench. The workbench ran the opposite way. It ran along this wall here, and to be honest with you, it was just full of rubbish. I really couldn't use it. I now have a cut down workbench, but although it's cut down, I've actually got room to actually work on it. So that's what I've been up to. What I'm going to do now is, I know you all like the running session, so we'll get some of the trains running, and I hope you enjoy that, and I will catch you guys all very, very soon.